The Shark Deck.
Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. We've watched the Harry and Meghan rumours go from lesser-known websites to now some pretty well-known names. The Daily Record has used the headline, "Meghan Markle is slowly separating herself from Prince Harry and is hoping to take full custody of their two young kids," a veteran royal biographer has claimed. That biographer is Angela Levin, who told GB News that the Sussex marriage had disintegrated very badly following the wedding. If we look back to that day, we discovered later that Meghan had already planned to leave the UK before she actually got married. I think she's a careful plotter, and my feeling is that Harry is actually doing something that is negative, that it's upsetting, that will make you feel he hasn't succeeded, that is very lowering. And that Meghan is going the other way and going around in gold and going to perhaps get a big part in a film and having a very good new agent, so she is absolutely separating from him. As you said, she hasn't been anywhere where he really needed her. He's got a mental health issue and he needs somebody there to prop him up. Anyone would actually, but she keeps away, so he's doing all the nasty stuff and she's sailing on ahead. I think that that's the beginning of the end of it for him because she's planning. In my opinion, here is what she is doing. She was making sure that he's in a hopeless situation so that she can get the children and he's completely isolated from his family and friends. Royal commentator Kinsey Schofield told GB News she thinks the couple will stay together. "Look at everything Harry has sacrificed for Meghan Markle. I think he's going to do whatever it takes to keep her happy. The problem is she's always moving the goalpost. She's always changing her mind and she's always making it more difficult for him to feel like he's accomplished something and made her happy. I think that it might be inevitable, but she has gotten everything out of Harry that she can. Definitely not yet." Some think the Harry and Meghan chatter is actually coming from William and Kate's camp. Yahoo recaps this possible scenario. On May 29th, a Twitter user by the name of @the_Duchess_Zone posted a screenshot of multiple articles claiming Harry was reportedly contacting divorce lawyers. The account posted this viral screenshot with the caption reading, "Like I was saying, William is divorcing Catherine. Don't worry, we're confused by that too." One Twitter user explained, "I'm not sure he is going to divorce her, but some sure William is looking at his options. Whenever an article comes up about Harry and Meghan, I already know there's a trouble in paradise with William and Kate." Quite a few claim that the firm is trying to cause a diversion by putting the spotlight on the Sussexes' relationship rather than William and Kate's. Many fans in the discourse are even claiming that since the public has welcomed Queen Camilla, who was famously known as King Charles' mistress, that William will be doing the same with Rose Hanbury. Maybe Wills is just jealous that he's being overshadowed by his fabulous wife, just like Charles was a generation ago. The Mirror reports, during William's parents' ill-fated marriage, King Charles is said to have grown increasingly jealous of Princess Diana's massive popularity. In the early days of their union, Charles would often be overshadowed by his wife, with crowds shouting to talk to Diana instead of the future king, leaving him reportedly frustrated. Royal expert Roy Nicker added, "The only thing I know that does slightly bother him is when he is cropped out of photos. You will find very often they do a joint engagement and the front page of the news the next day it's as if William was never there. Charles was always very upset when Diana had eclipsed him, which was all the time. William is delighted by the fact that people warm to Catherine. William is comfortable with that. I have heard him talk about Catherine's work and how excited he is about it, and he loves that she is getting traction." The Mirror took a look at Kate when the cameras are not on her, when she's off duty at the family's home of Adelaide Cottage in Windsor. Despite her royal status, insiders say Kate is just like any other normal mum. A friend once explained that she's very chilled at home, but definitely not a pushover. As the friend told People, "It's a normal, busy family home with kids running around and knocking things over. There's no airs and graces." She's doing that to help her children be more grounded and keep their reality in check. That's what really matters to her. An insider told The Sun, "Shouting is absolutely off limits for the children, and any hint of shouting at each other is dealt with by the removal. The naughty child is taken away from the scene of the row or disruption and talked to calmly by either Kate or William. Things are explained and consequences outlined, and they never shout at them. Kate is often seen completing the school run, dropping off or picking up George, Charlotte or Louis from Lambrook School. A friend observed, there are no blow dryers, it's always hair up in a ponytail. She's either in her gym clothes or a dress and sneakers, very little makeup, apologizing as she's late for the school run before dashing off. It's the life of a working mum with 3 young children, just a different sort of day job to most." Palace Intrigue will be right back.
I'm Kate.
And I'm Corinne.
We host the podcast Pop Fiction Women,
where we deep dive into the best books, TV, and movies,
as well as the women creating them.
So who are we?
Corinne is a lawyer who worked on Wall Street. She loves psychological thrillers that keep her guessing and has a soft spot for messy women trying to break cycles of addiction and self-sabotage.
And Kate is a litigator who worked at some of the top international law firms. She loves romantic comedies that keep her swooning and has a soft spot for the ice queens who learn to let their heart lead over their heads.
We cover a range of content like When Harry Met Sally, Fleabag, Yellow Jackets, Normal People, and Tell Me Lies.
And we also interview your favorite authors like Emily Giffin, Tia Williams, and Rebecca Searle.
Where we always ask the most important question of all, what's your sign?
Subscribe or follow Pop Fiction Women wherever you get podcasts.
OK Magazine reports King Charles wants his grandson Prince George to be more involved in the monarchy, something Kate Middleton isn't a huge fan of. A source said, Camilla is a fan of Kate's, but she doesn't intervene in these instances. She has to support Charles' decisions as his queen. William and Kate both know when he reaches his teens, they'll have less of a leg to stand on, so for the next 3 years they're going to protect him as much as they can. According to the source, her children's happiness come first. And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, YouTube, or your app of choice. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue, and good times.